Hello, good morning students. How are you all? I have come again to take second video of chapter 1 number system for class 9th. In my previous video, I have told you three topics from this chapter: introduction, irrational numbers, decimal expansion of irrational numbers. Okay, now in this video, I am going to explain you some important topics from this chapter. First is representing real numbers on the number line. Second is operation on real numbers and laws of exponents. Okay, so please listen me carefully. Okay, now in this chapter I have told you three topics: topic first, second, and third. Now we will take here some other topics. Okay, we will now about the following points in this video. So first topic is representing real numbers on the number line, operation on real numbers, and laws of exponents for real numbers. Now these are the topics we will discuss in my second video of this chapter. Okay, now representing real numbers on the number line. In it, in my previous video, you have seen that any real number has a decimal expansion. I have told you and I have explained you in my previous video about real numbers, or I have told you every real numbers can be represented on a number line. This helps us to represent it on the number line. It will be help to represent it on the number line. Let us see how. How can you represent any real number on the number line? We will see. Okay. Suppose we want to locate 2.665 on the number line. For an example, 2.665 we have to locate on the number line. We know that this lies between 2 and 3. Okay, listen, 2.665 lie between 2 and 3 because this number is greater than 2 but less than 3. So it will be lie between 2 and 3. Okay, now we have to draw a number line and locate some numbers on that line, like that 0, 1, 2, 3. We know that the left side of 0 we represent negative numbers, and right side of 0 we can represent positive numbers. So we have to take only 2 and 3 because 2.665 lie between 2 and 3. So we can take only 2 and 3. Okay. Now, so let us look closely at the portion of the number line between 2 and 3. I have drawn a line and denote 2 and 3. So we 2.665. Suppose we divide this line into 10 equal parts and mark each points of division as in figure 1.11. This is figure 1.11. So we can write first 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8 and 2.9. After 2.9 is 3. Clearly all have understood or not? Okay. Then the first mark to the right of 2 will represent 2.1. I have told you. The second 2.2 and so on. We can represent till 2.9. Okay, you might be finding some difficulty in observing these points of division between 2 and 3 in figure 1.11. Okay, you might be finding some difficulty in observing these points of division between 2 and 3. To have a clear view of the same, you may take a magnifying glass and look at the portion between 2 and 3. You can see in a glass between 2 and 3. It will look like what you see in figure 1.1. Now 2.665 lies between 2.6 and 2.7. We have to find how to represent 2.665 and we have to search 2.665 between these numbers. Okay, so we have found from the figure that 2.665 lies between 2.6 and 2.7. Okay, so let us focus on the portion between 2.6 and 2.7. We have to focus on in between 2.6 and 2.7 because we can get 2.665 between 2.6 and 2.7. Okay, now 2.665 lies between 2.6 and 2.7. So let us focus on the portion. So let us focus on this portion. We imagine to divide this again into 10 equal parts. We have to divide 2.6 between 2.7, 10 equal parts. Like that, between 2 and 3, we have divided into 10 equal parts. Okay. Then first mark will represent 2.61, 2.61, the next 2.62, and so on. To this clearly we magnifying. This is shown in figure 1.12, means second figure. You can see here. We have taken 2.6 in one corner and 2.7 in one corner. Okay. We have to divide 2.6, 2.7 in 10 equal parts between them. Like that, 2.61, 2.62. You can see clearly. Understood now? It can visible. Okay. 2.61, 2.62, 2.63, 2.64, 2.65, and 2.66, 2.67, 2.68, 2.69. After that, you see 2.7. Understood? Okay. Now again 2.665 lies between 2.66 and 2.67. You can see the figure. 2.665 lies between 2.66 and between 2.67. This portion you can see line in figure first. Okay, and imagine to divide it again into 10 equal parts. We have to divide 2.6 between 2.7, 10 equal parts, like similar figure first and second. We magnifying it to see it better as in figure 1.13 second. Second figure as shown in the figure. The first mark represent 2.661. Then next one represent 2.662 and so on. So 2.665 is the fifth mark in these. Okay. Now 2.6, we have to take 2.66 and 2.67 because 2.665 lie between them. So 2.66, 2.67. Now 2.661, you can see now. Can you see? Okay. It can visible now. Okay. 2.61, 2.62, sorry, 2.661, 2.662, 2.663, 2.664, 2.665. This is the sign which is seen 2.665. I have got 2.665 on a number line. All have understood? Now we call this process of visualization of presentation of numbers on the number line through a magnifying glass as the process of successive magnification. So we have seen that it is possible by sufficient successive magnifications to visualize the position or representation of a real number with a terminating decimal expansion on number line. Let us now try and visualize the position of a real number with a non-terminating recurring decimal expansion on the number line. We can look at appropriate intervals through a magnifying glass and by successive magnification visualize the position of the number on the number line. All have understood? Good. Anyone have any doubt? Now I am going to start next topic, operation on real numbers. Okay. Before starting it, I want to tell you something related to this. We can solve any number. We can locate any number on the number line. So please solve some example from a textbook. Now, fifth point of this chapter, operation or real numbers. Operations. What is the operation in mathematical language? It means how can we relate between two numbers with signs, symbols. Okay. You have learned in earlier classes that rational numbers satisfy the commutative, associative, and distributive laws for addition and multiplication. I have told you in my first video also. Moreover, if we add, subtract, multiplying, or divide except by 0, two rational numbers, we still get a rational number. That is, rational numbers are closed with respect to addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. It turns out that irrational numbers also satisfy the commutative, associative, and distributive laws for addition and multiplication. However, the sum, difference, quotients, and products of irrational numbers are not always an irrational. It's mean the product of the sum, difference, quotient, and product of irrational numbers are not always irrational. It may be irrational or rational. Okay. Now, I am going to give you some examples. Suppose that root 6 and minus root 6 both are irrational numbers. Can we solve them? Root 6 plus minus root 6, we got 0. 0 is rational or irrational? Rational, because we can write 0 upon 1. So 0 is a rational number. But 1 upon 0 is not a rational number, because I have told you in my first video, we can write the form of P upon Q, and Q is not equal 0 here. We cannot write Q is equal 0. Okay, so 0 is a rational number. After solving it, we can get 0. So 0 is a rational number. Root 2 minus root 2. This is also 0. So this is also rational number. Root 3 into root 3. Root 3 into root 3. We got 3. When we multiply two rational numbers, like that, root 3 is we get 3. 3 is a rational. Like that, root 5 into root 5, we get 5. 5 is a rational number. Now, and root 17 upon root 17, it will be cut 1. So we get 1. So when we solve the combination of these rational numbers, combination, some subtraction, some multiplication and some division, we got a rational number. Understood? You can give any more examples. Okay. Now let us look at what happens when we add and multiply a rational number with an irrational number. Now we will look the multiply the multi sorry when we multiply a rational number with an irrational number. Okay. For example, root 3 is an irrational number. What about 2 plus root 3 and 2 root 3? Since root 3 has a non-terminating, non-recurring. I have told you non-terminating and non-recurring is known as irrational numbers, and terminating and recurring is known as rational number. The same is true 2 plus root 3, 2 into root 3. They are both 2 plus root 3 and 2 into root 3 are irrational numbers. So we can say the sum of a rational number and an irrational number is irrational. Okay. When we when we find the sum of a rational number and an irrational number, we get an irrational number. Okay. In second, the difference of a rational number and an irrational number is also an irrational. When we find the difference of a rational number and an irrational number, we get is an irrational. Suppose that 2 is a rational number and root 3 is an irrational number. The sum of there is irrational. Now 2 minus root 3 is an irrational. Okay. Now the product of a rational number, the product of a non-zero rational number, which is non-zero. Okay. Which should be non-zero. The product of non-zero rational number with an irrational number is irrational. Like that 2 into root 3, 5 into root 7, 3 into root 2 always is an irrational. Okay. The divide of a rational number and an irrational number is always an irrational. So we can say the all operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of a rational number and an irrational number always an irrational number. Okay. Now I'm going to see you some identities related to rational numbers. Some identities for irrational numbers. If a and b are real numbers, then under root a into b, we can write it root a into root b. Okay. Now root a upon root b. Sorry, root a upon in root a upon b. We can say root a upon root b. Okay. Now it's root a plus root b into root a minus root b. From a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. You have studied in previous classes. So from there we can write root a into root a plus minus minus root b into minus root b is minus b. Okay. Now a plus root b into a minus root b. A plus root b into a minus root b. From that identity also a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. You can say a square minus b. A square root b square is b. So a square minus b. root a plus root b into root c plus root d. After multiplying, we can get root ac plus root ad plus root bc plus root bd. So root a plus root b, root c minus root d. So we can got similar this. Okay. Now root a plus root b whole square. So we can say the whole square of root a plus root b from the whole square of a plus b. A square plus 2ab plus b square. So we can write a, the whole square of root a is a. 2ab, 2 into root a into root b plus b, square root of root b is b. So we can write a plus 2 root ab plus b. Okay. Now in this series rationalization, this topic is related to operation on rational numbers also. Okay. Rationalization is converting an irrational number into a rational number. It means our number which is rational, we have to convert it into a rational number by rationalization method. Suppose if we have to rationalize 1 by root a, 1 by root a, then we can write 1 by root a into 1 by root a. So root 1 into 1, product of numerator, 1 into 1, 1 upon product of denominator, root a into root a is a. Clear? Now rationalization of 1 upon root a plus b form, in that form, 1 upon a plus root a plus b. Now 1 upon root a plus b into 1 upon root a minus b. Note, to rationalize the denominator of 1 by root a plus b, we multiply this by a root a minus b upon root a minus b, where a and b are integers. Understood? When we convert the given rational number in this form, 1 upon root a plus b, we multiply this by root a minus b upon root a minus b. It means we have to multiply by changing the sign of this term. We have to change the sign of the denominator and multiply by numerator and denominator by it. Okay. Next, last topic of this chapter, laws of exponents for real numbers. If a, b and n are real numbers, then very easy. You have also studied in previous classes like the class 7, class 8 also. A to the power m into a to the power n, where a is base and m and n are exponents or powers. So in multiply, when base is same, we can add the exponents. In multiply, when base is same, we have to add the exponent. So we can write a to the power m plus n. Second is a to the power m to the power n. There are two powers of a single base, two exponents or of a single base. So we have two products of exponents. So we can write a to the power m to the power n is equal to a to the power m into n. Third is a to the power m upon a to the power n. Here base is same, in division base is same and exponent are different. In division we have to subtract the exponents. So we can write a to the power m minus n. Clear? Now last is a to the power m into b to the power m. You can see here a and b are base different. A and b are different base, and m is the same exponent. Okay, so we can write a into b to the power m. Here A and B are the basis and M and N are explained, which I have told you. This is the summary of this chapter. So please see it also. In this chapter, you have studied the following points. First point is a number is called a rational number if it can be written in the form P upon Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal 0. In my first video, I have told you clearly. Second point is a number is called an irrational number if it cannot be written in the form of P upon Q, where P and Q are integers. I have told you also about irrational numbers. Third point is the decimal expansion of a rational number is either terminating or non-terminating, recurring. Moreover, a number whose decimal expansion is terminating or non-terminating, recurring is rational. Okay. Fourth point is the decimal expansion of an irrational number is non-terminating, non-recurring. Moreover, a number whose decimal expansion is non-terminating, non-recurring is an irrational number. Okay. Fifth topic is, sorry, fifth point is all the rational and irrational numbers make up the collection of real numbers. I have told you in my last video, in my first video, sorry. There, sixth point is there is a unique real number between to every point on the number line, also corresponding to each real number. There is a unique point on the number line. I have told you in my this video. If R is a rational and S is irrational, then R plus S, R minus S, are irrationals, and R into S and R upon S are also irrationals, where R is not equal 0. I have told you just now in my this video the the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of a rational number and an irrational number is always an irrational number. This is the identities related to irrational numbers. I have told you just now. Rationalization. How can you rationalize the given rational number? Okay. These are I have told you just now. So this is the last video of first chapter. I hope have you enjoyed this video and this chapter. So please do the practice, more practice, and solve your exercise. Thanks to all for my cooperation. Thank you.